We put a lot of trust in our trainers to get us our CDL, to help us with our pre-trip, to help us learn how to drive, to help us learn how to back. But how much trust do you really need to put into your instructor, your trainer? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, like, you guys are trusting an instructor too much, because we as instructors, we make mistakes too. Like, we are not perfect. You're not perfect. We're not perfect. So there's a chance that we tell you to go down a road with a low bridge, and you're expected to see that before you hit the bridge. Hey man, what's up with that bridge? You know, make sure you're paying attention to your signs. You might catch something that your trainer or your instructor did not. You guys are putting too much trust in your instructor. So with my guys, their first few days, you know, their first week, I'm helping out do the pre-trip inspections, right? So I'm helping out doing them, and I'm doing the pre-trip inspections with them when we do our loads and stuff like that. And you know, I'm like, second week, you know your pre-trip, and I always ask them the same thing: where are we at on pre-trip? I make sure that we're finished with the engine compartment. I make sure that we're finished with the driver's side fuel area, the trailer, the coupling, the lights, kind of getting the end cap worked out. And at the end of the day, who's driving this truck? You're driving this truck. So you're putting too much trust in your instructor to make sure that the truck is safe and everything. Where at the end of the day, you're the one driving the truck. If you get pulled into a wait station, you are the one that's going to have to answer for every light that's out, for anything that's becoming a safety issue. Who's going to get the ticket at the end of the day? You are. So before you operate a vehicle, it's your job to go ahead and do a pre-trip on the vehicle, the trailer, you know, everything, because you're the one behind the wheel pulling this equipment. So what I do with my guys is after their first week, they go with me. They see me doing the pre-trip on it. I'm checking all the stuff of the trailer. And even that second week, I'm still checking everything. But what I'm doing is I'm also watching them. I'm all like, okay, he didn't do an engine compartment. He didn't do driver's side fuel area. He didn't do trailer. He didn't do coupling. And we're about to drive this truck. So I go ahead and let them drive for a little while, and then I bring it up. I'm all like, hey, you're driving this truck, right? Yeah. I'm all like, did you do your trailer inspection? Did you do your light inspection? What did you do? What all did you check? And I usually get this answer of, I checked the tires. And I'm all like, okay, so did you check the lights? Make sure all the lights were working on this trailer? Because at the end of the day, it's not me getting a ticket. It's going to be them getting a ticket. And, you know, of course, if I found something that was unsafe or something that was bad, I would be like, hey, guys, what about this? What about that? Why did we not notice this? You know, because at the end of the day, I don't really want them to get a ticket for something that's messed up. But I get a lot of responses back of, I'm not getting a ticket. You're getting a ticket because you're my instructor. That's where you're wrong. Like, you got to know the laws of the CDL. Like, you have to know what you're supposed to do. And that has to do with pre-trip. Every time you operate the vehicle, you should do the engine compartment. You should do driver's side fuel area. You should do coupling. You should do trailer. You should do lights. You got to make sure that this vehicle that you're about to operate is safe. Because if something goes wrong and you get into an accident, they're going to go through this thing and they're going to make sure that the truck and trailer was safe. If it's not, they're going to come after you. You know, God forbid you get into an accident. You know, brakes, check your brakes, check your tires, check your lights. I mean, any little thing that a DOT officer finds wrong with your vehicle is one ticket. So you might have, we'll just say you have one marker light out, one clearance light on the very back out, and say you don't have reflective tape, or say you're completely missing a mud flap on your trailer. You're going to get 3 separate tickets. It's not all going to be on the same ticket. You know, the DOT can do that if they're having a good day, but they can also just write you separate tickets for each offense they find. And then they're going to go through it, like, they're going to be like, wow, this dude didn't do his job and do the pre-trip on this stuff. And you might start arguing with them. You might be like, hey, look, I'm a trainee. That's my instructor. Well, you know what your instructor's going to say? I'm not the one operating the vehicle right now. He is. You know, at the end of the day, it's a little bit on the instructor. There's going to be some weight held to that because he's supposed to be instructing you to do this stuff. But if he's out there telling you time and time again that, hey, you need to do your pre-trip, you need to study your pre-trip, you need to do the inspections, at some point, you're going to have to get out there and do this stuff. And what I'm learning, like, I take everything as a lesson. Because I'll talk to some of my students and I'll be like, I'll call them up after they've been gone for a while. And I'm like, you on your own truck now? Yeah. Hey, how often, I go, serious question. How often do you do your engine compartment? Like, open up the hood and check everything. And I'm all like, hey, I'm just doing research, man. I would like to know where you're at. I want to know what's going on. I said, I want truth. And they tell me what they're doing or what they're not doing. And I'm all like, man, dude, don't get lax out here. This is common mistakes that people make that cost them big. It's very important to check your vehicle. It's very important to read your signs while you're going down the road. You know, you don't want to be that guy that comes through that low bridge and you weren't reading signs and all of a sudden, boom, truck stops and you're like, what just happened? And that was loud. You know, how much money did we just throw down the drain right there? Because you're going to have a deductible for your truck, your trailer, the load inside it, all because you weren't reading your signs. You know, this is a life lesson right here is do your pre-trip. Don't trust your instructor to check everything. And I'll tell you one thing right now is that I've picked up a trailer before and one of my students, I checked the lights. And I got back in the truck and my student he checked them with me, like he was going with me. And he was all like, yeah, that clearance light's out. I said, man, I just looked at that. What clearance light? So like I go back there, I'm all like, let's go look at it again. You show me which one's out. And I'm thinking that there's no lights out. We went back there, sure enough, my clearance light was out. So I was like, oh, I gotta get this fixed. So first thing I started was like troubleshooting the problem. And because he noticed a light was out, he got to see me troubleshooting. So I went to the pigtail, I cleaned out all the connections, sprayed it with WD-40, scraped out any gunk I seen in there, boom, put it back together. We went and checked the light again. It was still out. So then I went back to the pigtail, I started twisting it a whole bunch and then put it on. Because sometimes when you twist it a whole bunch and then put it on, it makes it like it wants to unspin is what happens because you just twisted up the wire. So it wants to unspin. Whenever it does that, it makes a good connection. So we went back there again. Boom, lights are working. So we got to go ahead and run that load. Now, you know, he learned some stuff by just bringing up, hey, we got that marker light out. He was about to drive that trailer, so it's a good thing. Great student, too. He was a great guy. He was real good at finding stuff wrong with the trailers and stuff. And, like, you know, I would get frustrated. And he'd be like, look, this tire's not looking good. And I'm all like, oh, it's going to cost me more time to get this tire fixed. But you know what? He's right. He is 100% right. We're going to go get this tire fixed. We go over there, boom, they replace the tire. We're on the road with a safe trailer. And like, to me, the tire was, it was at that point where it had a bunch of chunking in it, and like, it was still safe. But since we're right there by the terminal, and since he said something like, let's go ahead and get it fixed. And we went ahead and got it fixed. I was like, you know what? He has a good eye. This guy's going to do great out there. And at the end of the day, whenever you guys are operating these vehicles, at the end of the day, it's up to you to make sure that the vehicle you operate is safe. And the FMCSA says that every time Like twice a day, you're going to do a pre-trip and a post-trip. One has to be logged on duty, one can be off duty. And you are filling that out on your logs that you're doing this to have a safe vehicle to drive. And at the end of the day, you check everything again, make sure everything is still good. Make sure you guys are out there taking care of business. Last thing I would like to see any of you guys is getting a ticket out there with you and your instructor and being like, my instructor got me a ticket. Because truthfully, I'm gonna give you my honest opinion about it. You got yourself the ticket because you did not make sure that vehicle was safe before you pulled out. That's on you. Like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure y'all show up for Thursday Night Lives. Kind of a different video tonight. I kind of was just gonna let y'all have it tonight. Leave comments down there. Tell me if you think I'm wrong or if you think I'm right or if you agree or disagree. Like, comment, and subscribe. And we're almost to 3,000 subscribers to give away some hats. So thank you all for hitting that subscribe button and helping out this channel get to the 3,000 subscribers.
So if you love this content that I've put out on this channel, then make sure you click the next video right there. Also, if you want to check out some playlists, I have right there. Don't forget, Thursday Night Lives, 7 p.m. Central Time. You can come ask your own questions and answers and get all the information you want. And if you want to subscribe to this channel, then go ahead and click that face right there.